All right. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Ibi Syed. I'm one of the founders of Cotera. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to figure out and set up automations for one pagers after a sales call is finished. So this is kind of what the outcome looks like. I had a call with Stripe's CX team. They wanted to understand, hey, like we want to do CX intelligence off of our customer support calls. And so, right now, Stripe is manually tagging all of their customer support tickets. They want to automatically use Cotera agents to automate them. And then you can kind of see here that I've created, this is all generated from the transcript. The current reality, the Cotera workflow, the ROI analysis, the implementation timeline, and then what happens next. And again, obviously, the AI agent is built for us internally. This whole webinar series is about how we automate things using Cotera internally. But you can kind of see here that it's very, very, you can attribute this to your business as long as you give the AI agent enough. Thanks. So let's, before we dump into the prompt, because that's where I spend most of our time doing, let's take a look at, let me show you how Cotera actually works. Let me give you some of the baseline. So let's say that I have a data set. These are all my sales calls. This is connected to either Gong or Fathom, whatever you want. I've got a date column. I've got all the emails of everyone that I talked to. I've got the people, their names, and I've got the transcript. So this is, the transcript of who I met with. And then there's like this one pager creator. But let me walk you through how Cotera basically works. So I set up a column. First, I choose a model, so you can choose from anyone. Let's use Claude Sonnet. And then I can start typing in a message. You are a summarizer. Tell me what I have to summarize. Tell me, Ibby side, what my action items are for a specific call. And then what I can do is let me actually go back here. Let me grab one of these. I'll grab this transcript. I come in here and ignore the other persons. Okay, so let's do this. And so what it'll do is it'll, based on this call here, action items, Ibby, Sarah, send Sarah the SOW, send Sarah the sample dashboard, set up 2-week pilot, plan for early remember, go to market. Cool, that works. So what we want to do though, is we want to make sure that we also send it. So we run it on every single transcript. So what I can do is I can actually give it access to that whole column, right? This whole column right here. And it'll run, and I can set it on a timer to where every 5 minutes it'll check, hey, has a new call finished? Every 30 seconds it can check, hey, has a new call finished? And you run it on top of that. You hit preview, you hit go, and something went wrong. So let's actually switch the model. We'll switch to GPT 4.1, and then we'll run it on top of that. Great. And now it's run. So suddenly now it's got all of the things that I need to do. Your action items, call ours, send Alex specific specification, create quick pilot, send Megan the scope. And so it's run that same prompt on top of every single transcript. And now the last thing that I need to do is I need to have this run on top and actually send to a Notion database. So what I'll do is, we're going to do that in the actual thing. Let's actually send it to Slack. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're going to send it to Slack. Then when that's done, send me the action items to hashtag Ibby's thoughts. Please. So now when I go in here and I do the exact same thing, I test this. The AI, nice. It says what my thing is, and then it sends a Slack message. What I can do is I can show you here in a sec. So here we go. This is zoomed in. But yeah, you can see here, action items from the call, send Sarah the scope of work, send her a sample dashboard. Awesome. All right, so let's take a look at our prompt, right? I already copied and pasted this. But how does the actual Notion one, this guy, how does this get created, right? So go in here, we got system prompt, Cotera one-pager generator. You're a senior enterprise strategist and a sales analyst. Your mission is to distill Cotera sales calls into crisp, executive-ready briefs that capture pain, opportunity, and action. So, we start off by just explaining what we want it to do. So we explain what it is. We explain Cotera. So this is where you would put your business in. Like if you're selling, I don't know, monkeys to businesses. Hey, we sell monkeys to businesses. This is why it's useful to sell monkeys to businesses. That is where you put all of that information. You tell it what inputs you're going to give. So I'm going to give it the call transcript. I'm going to give it the company name and the participants and the meeting. And then its job is to produce a JSON, thing in Notion. And then you start to give it all, the header that you want, the purpose, the title, subtitle, the section. So, what we wanted in ours is section 1 is the current reality, what's broken now. Here's basically highlight what's not working today. Please provide a bold headline and 3 to 4 bullets. Section 2, the Cotera workflow from chaos to automation. We basically explained, hey, this is how you want to set it up. You include 3 to 5 steps represented as a Notion table, ROI analysis, implementation timeline, what happens next, and then the bottom line. And then this is pretty easy. What you basically do is, I know it looks complicated, but all it is when I go back here, it's just the tool call actions. So when you click on the actual individual tools, because we gave it access to create a page in Notion and append a block in Notion. And I'll show you how I did this in a sec. But what I've done is I've given it access to those, and I've basically just pasted the individual IDs for each one of the things. And so and then it says return only the Notion page URL and nothing else. So if we go back here, I've got this copy pasted. And then what I'm going to do is let's do this. Let's do Notion. I'm going to give it the ability to create a page in Notion. And I'm going to be able to give it the ability to add, little bits and blocks to show that sometimes it needs to add a table, sometimes it needs to add something else. So we'll do that. And then we'll give it access to the transcript. So we'll say transcript, emails. Oh, some of my neighbors are talking. All right. Emails, people, the meeting. Great. Because these are just these, right? So people in the meeting, email, and transcript, and that's it. And what I'll do is I realize I'm doing something wrong. Let me just take one of these guys. Cool. I'll come in here, we'll hit go. And what'll happen is, oh, you know what? Let me actually switch this to, let's actually switch this back to Claude. So it creates a new page in the database. There you go. And now let me append the one-pager content to the page. Nice. We hit go on this. And remember, this is our testing framework. As I've said in all the other videos, this is how we test them. This is how we test everything. We don't run any of these things. When you're done with it and you're happy with how it goes, it will, you just set it to run, and you set it to backfill, and it'll automatically run as new calls finish and become part of your data set. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So let's click on this. Here we go. Edited just now. Cool. Yeah. Fill it in. There we go. And we're done. Again, if I wanted to set it to go, I just hit save and I hit run from start and I set it on a timer. And as every single sales call finishes, it will automatically fill in step by step with each one. There you go. Let me know if you have any questions.